Number 6, Dr. Russell Norman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Conservation and asks, what steps, if any, is she taking to protect the unique, rare and threatened Nevis Gollum galaxiid, a native fish species found only in the Nevis River in Central Otago?
The Honourable Kate Wilkinson.
Mr. Speaker, the Gollum galaxiid is included in the Department of Conservation's recovery plan that manages priority resources. The member may be interested to learn there are populations of the Gollum galaxiid beyond the Nevis River, including in Stewart Island and parts of Southland. The Department is undertaking monitoring of the species to better understand its status.
Dr. Russell Norman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. What are the threats to the survival of the Nevis Gollum galaxiid, also known as Smeagol? And is she aware that the species on the Nevis River is in fact now been identified as a separate species?
The Honourable Kate Wilkinson.
Mr. Speaker, I am aware that it has been ascertained as a genetically distinct species, and I can advise also the House that one of the threats to the Gollum galaxiid is the aggressive native fish, the ko'aro.
Dr. Russell Norman. Order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order. I want to hear Dr. Russell Norman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does she agree with the findings of the Special Tribunal that damming the Nevis River would put Gollum at the risk of extinction?
The Honourable Kate Wilkinson.
Mr. Speaker, I have read the findings of the tribunal, which does say that it is, quote, it is necessary to understand that the Gollum galaxiid does not inhabit lakes or reservoirs. Can I say, though, I believe in New Zealand that the hobbit may be more endangered and threatened if CTU and Labour have its way.
Point of order.
Order. There's no need for all that reaction. Dr. Russell Norman.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order, Dr. Russell Norman.
Mr. Speaker, the question was, does she agree with the findings of the Special Tribunal that damming the Nevis River would put Gollum at risk of extinction? It's a straight question. The question wasn't addressed. She spoke about other issues, but not that particular issue.
Speaking to point of order, the Honourable Dr. Nick Smith.
Mr. Speaker, this matter is before the Environment Court, and as such, when ministers make a final decision, in this case myself, there is an appropriateness about ministers commenting on an application for a water conservation order that is currently before the courts. And commenting on a matter of evidence before the court is equally problematic in the House with the way the member has formulated the question.
Well, order. I don't believe there's need to hear this further. The minister, the responsible minister, is perfectly capable of taking that matter into account in answering any questions, because the member is absolutely right that she needs to be careful when a matter is before the court. As far as the member's first point of order is concerned, I believe the minister did express a view around the success of this species surviving in still water or reservoirs. I seem to recollect the minister answering that part of the question. Dr. Russell Norman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does she support the Special Tribunal's decision to protect the Nevis River from being dammed in order to save Gollum from extinction?
The Honourable Kate Wilkinson.
Mr. Speaker, in relation to the Tribunal's decision, I'm not in a position to offer any expert or peer review advice on it, being neither an expert in dams nor an expert in the Gollum galaxiid. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, I would be reluctant to prejudge or prejudice any appeal from that tribunal's decision.
Dr. Russell Norman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given that Pioneer Energy has appealed the Special Tribunal's decision to protect the river, will the Department of Conservation submit against this appeal?
The Honourable Kate Wilkinson.
Mr. Speaker, no decision has been made on what role the Department of Conservation would take in the appeal process.
Dr. Russell Norman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Why, when everyone is trying to save the Hobbit, won't she step in to save Gollum and the Nevis River, given the attraction for filmmakers to New Zealand is our precious natural environment?
The Honourable Kate Wilkinson.
Mr Speaker, I think I've already answered that. No decision has been made on the role that the Department will take in the appeal process.
Question number 7, Grant Robertson.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Tertiary Education.